I think there's a consistency that, especially when we're building a run game, that there's, like we spoke about, there's a certain level of simplicity that we got to be able to keep so we can come off and play fast and physical. Where we go from that in terms of building multiple packages for quarterbacks to step in and play, you can see that as a couple different ways. We've had some wildcat situations to get Khalil Shakir back there and be able to handle the ball and do those things. So there's, I think that's partly so of what you're talking about too, is getting the ball in someone else's hands that can create an extra number in the run game. Is that what you're referring to?
Not really. I guess I should ask it more directly. Why isn't Jack Sears playing this year?
Yeah, that's what I thought you were asking. So yeah, let's just be upfront and honest. We don't have to beat around it. Like, you know what? Because Hank has been efficient. Are there things that Hank has to improve on? Yeah. Or should we take Hank out? Hank has done a good job being efficient with the ball. Do we have to eliminate some of the negative yardage plays? Yeah. And is part of that on Hank? There's no doubt. But not all of that is on Hank either. Part of that's on the wide receivers. Part of that's on the offensive line. It's a team game. And if we felt at any point where, Jack has made tremendous strides, especially in the bye week, Jack took a lot of reps. And Jack's ability to improve and be able to execute and get reps with the blue offense, with the first team offense, we got to see and be able to see that happen consistently. And Jack is improving that way. And
is that a detriment to a quarterback sometimes when another quarterback comes in for one or two plays in a game?
Well, I don't think any quarterback likes to rotate. I haven't met very many quarterbacks that like to rotate in and out like that. And that's what you create. We're trying to establish some consistency throughout it. And it's very hard on a quarterback. I think if you would ask him, I don't think there's very many quarterbacks that like to rotate.
In my opinion, I think Hank's, again, done really well. And I know that finishing the game with an interception and there's a lot of Monday morning quarterbacks, I'm sure, on how things should be done. But, I don't know the full rankings or stats, but I'm pretty sure he's top 10 in passing in the country. I'm pretty sure he's completing 65% of his passes. And doing a lot of things really well out there. Now, are there things he can do better? Absolutely. We've had a couple miscues where maybe some misreads or things that lead to negative plays or turnovers that we can obviously correct. But Hank's playing at a really high level. There's things we can do to help him and things we can do to help the offense for sure, run more smoothly. But I think he's done a lot of things really well here in the first half and expect him to play even better the second half. Jack's a tremendous player that's ready to go. And I think the positives to having multiple guys is obviously teams have to prepare maybe for multiple quarterbacks and how they play, because they're always going to play differently. The negative is just, if you're mixing a guy in every other drive, it's really hard to get into a rhythm as a guy that played quarterback. If you're taking a guy out and taking a guy in and taking a guy out and taking a guy in, it's difficult unless you got a Taysom Hill type situation where the guy can play another position and then jump into quarterback every now and then. That's kind of in the flow of the game. So I know Jack's ready to play. I'm sure he's chomping at the bit like any backup quarterback would be to get an opportunity to go out and do his thing. And I know he'll be ready if that takes place, but have all the confidence in the world in Hank. I think he's playing really well. I think he's going to play even better here down the stretch. I think his mindset's in a really good place, and they support each other at a very high level, which is very impressive. Jack and him have a great relationship, and Jack had a great week of practice here in the bye week. We got him some more reps there with the Blues and to give Hank a chance to rest his arm a little bit. And like I said, I think he's ready to roll if that number gets called. And nowadays, I think you get through any season with one quarterback, it's usually tough. So at some point, I would think he'd get in there and have a chance if things go in a way where we need to make a change. But Hank's playing really well right now. So unless something drastically were to go another way, I would see Hank continuing to do his thing.
I'm just out there to do my best, whatever the game plan is. I very much respect guys like Chase and Jalen, and when they're out there, I'm rooting for them. I want them to do their best, and I just want what's best for the team. Like I said, I want us to win games, and for us to win games, whatever we got to do, I'm willing to support that.
But for you, in terms of consistency and continuity, is it just easier to be the guy instead of coming off the field every once in a while?
I mean, like I said, you just got to be intentional and deliberate every single play that you're out there. So when you get your opportunities, and this year I have gotten more opportunities, I got to just make sure that I'm being intentional and deliberate. I'm going through my process and making sure that I'm seeing the field the best I can and making the right decisions. Obviously, I've thrown a couple late game picks that hurts me, but I got to learn from it. I think just my ability to operate the pre-snap has been a lot better. I can still be better for sure. I've missed some things, but it's nice having great explosive guys outside, and just got to make sure I'm communicating with the O-line and with the running backs and tight ends on protection, and make sure we're getting that dialed up.